Hi guys, and welcome to another review of VCars. The car which I'm going to be reviewing today is the MG Hector Plus. Let's open the engine bay right away. The hood is quite heavy. You get insulation right there. It says MG Turbo right there. The engine has been neatly packed inside. It gets Morris Garages written in bold on the front. A huge MG logo right there. Now this is a newer grille than the regular Hector. It resembles with some Mercedes. So this is the front parking camera. It gets 360-degree parking camera, and these are the parking sensors. So the lights have been revised. The indicators have been placed over here. Earlier these LED DRLs used to turn into indicators. It gets projector LED headlamps. These are the LED DRLs. It gets dynamic swipe indicators, which look absolutely nice. It gets revised alloy wheels as well. These are 18 inches dual tone alloy wheels. Now this car is slightly longer, as this is the Plus variant, which is the 7-seater. You can opt for the 6-seater one or the 7-seater. So you get an additional third row. It gets a camera over here as well. LED indicators on the mirror. Request sensors. The lights at the rear also have been revised. Dynamic swipe indicators over there too. Reverse parking camera. Parking sensors over there. These are fake treatments. The real exhaust is over here. Let's open the boot right away. It gets electric tailgate. The boot is very small when these two seats are up. You can actually fold these seats from here. So once you fold these seats, you get a lot of space. So these are the AC controls for the rear. Two AC vents at the rear. Cup holders too. And a charging socket. It's very easy to put back the rear seat. These seats are not so heavy, so you can easily access it. Gets a light right there. Okay, let's close the boot. Electric tailgate, as I said. It takes its own sweet time to close. It says Hector Plus right there. It gets a sporty looking rear spoiler. Shark fin antenna there too. It gets a panoramic sunroof as well. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's get inside. It gets captain chairs for the middle row. The doors open wide enough. It gets infinity sound system as before. It gets different shaped seats, leather seats. You get Isofix child seat mounts as well. Manual adjustments for the seat. You can recline it forward or backward. So once it's completely backward, you get lots of leg room. Two AC vents in the center. No hump here. Flat flooring. Let's get inside. You get a charging socket right there and some storage space. You get magazine holders right there. There's lots of space over here. Okay, so in the middle row, the headroom is decent enough. Lots of headroom. You can recline the seat backwards as well. It's very comfortable at the rear. Okay, so you can access the third row from here. third row seats have been placed very low. Slightly uncomfortable to get inside. The leg room is not that great. The headroom is also not that great. Tall people would hit their head on the roof. The legroom is also not that nice. It's just a namesake third row, I personally feel. So you get AC vents over here, and these are the AC controls. It gets a mini display over here. This is for the fan speed, to increase or decrease the fan speed. Yep. You get AC vent over here as well, and seat belts for the third row. Let's do one thing, let's get outside. You get adjustable headrests for the third row as well. Yeah, these are the adjustable headrests. Getting in and out is a task. Okay, so you get a light placement over here as well. Handle to grab onto with a hook, same as the case here. Okay, so actually everything else is similar to the regular MG. Let's do one thing, let's get inside the front seat. So as I said before, you can recline these middle row seats with the help of this lever right here. The recline angle is quite decent. Yeah. Let's get inside the driver's seat. Doors open wide enough. Leather treatment over here as well. Electrically adjustable seats. This is to open the petrol tank and the hood. These controls here, it's for the exterior windows, exterior mirrors, the tailgate, the brightness of the instrument cluster, and the height of the lights. It's as simple as that. Everything is similar to the regular MG except some changes. The regular Hector. Let's get inside. The door is slightly heavy. So similar interior to the regular Hector. Similar features as well. Leather treatment over here. Let's start the car. The button is placed over there. It does a full swipe up. The key is also revised. This key looks better. There are some buttons over here. This is for the electronic parking brake. This is for the auto hold. This is for the parking sensors. This is to turn on and off the rear air conditioning system. This is for the 360-degree parking camera. It gets 360-degree parking camera as well, like the regular Hector. And you can change the side as well. So this is the left side, and that's the right one. This is front, and this is back. So if I turn the tire, the attention to detail is absolutely amazing. The tire turns over here as well, and it gets adaptive guidelines too. So this car gets ventilated seats, and the button of to turn on the ventilated seats has been placed in a very awkward position. So it's quite hard to find that button. It's placed over here. Yeah, that's the button. Wrong place of keeping the button. It should have been over here, somewhere over here. Same as the case over here. Front ventilated seats. That's the button. They actually do a tremendous job. The seats, they cool very fast, so it gets panoramic sunroof. So there are different buttons to open only the sunshade, independent buttons to open the sunshade only. It extends all the way till the rear. So I press it again and it opens even more further. independent button to close it as well. That's very nice. So it gets white LED lights, sunglass holder right there, a mirror here without a light, mirror here with the light. So this shape is absolutely nice. This part, there's a depression over here because of the shape of the AC vent. Yeah, that's actually nice. So everything else is as similar as the regular Hector. The only difference is the key, the lights, the grill, some cosmetic changes, and the third row, which is not that comfortable but good for children for short journeys. Okay, so this infotainment system handles the show, air conditioning system, settings, music, entertainment, everything. You can handle it from here. So it gets voice assistant as well. It gets Android Auto, Apple CarPlay too. So let's check out the voice assistant. Okay, let's try saying some commands. Hello MG.
Hi, how can I help?
It's warm today.
Okay, temperature is raised to 19 degrees.
Yeah. Hello MG.
I'm here.
Open sunroof. Thank you MG. Sunroof is wide enough. Okay, let's close it. No one touch sunroof. I tried it wasn't working. Okay, so it gets Gaana app through which you can play music, online music. It gets tire pressure monitor as well. I expected the screen to be way more responsive than the original Hector, but it's the same. So this is the tire pressure system. So this is like the home button. This power button is like the home button. So once you press that, it comes back to the original home screen. These are the AC controls. This is the 360-degree parking camera. This is to turn on and off the traction control. It's navigation system as well from TomTom. Actually, there's a package for which you need to pay. So if I'm not wrong, you get 5 years of free internet in the car. I think so. I'm not sure. So this is the navigation system. I actually expected the system to be way more slick than what it is right now. Yeah, so once you engage reverse, the parking sensors appear, the parking camera and the parking sensors turn on. It gets a 3-spoke steering wheel, same as the one which was there in the previous Hector, the original Hector. These buttons here are to browse input. So you can browse through data on the multi-information display from these buttons. So you can actually change it, driving time, trip data, tire pressure monitor, etc. Warning messages, fatigue driving, etc. This is for the media, this is for the Bluetooth. It shows navigation as well. So it gets some leather bits over here as well. The quality of the dash has improved because of these leather bits, which is absolutely nice. It gets a wireless charging pad as well over there. Yeah, that's the wireless charging pad. And you get a USB socket right there. Yeah, that's the USB socket. These buttons over here is for the audio system, change the track, or for the voice commands. So nothing has changed from before except the seats, the rear seats. It gets a massive glove box, 2 cup holders over here with ambient lighting, same as the one as before. No lockable glove box. The glove box is of decent size. The steering feels actually nice. Feels responsive. It's lightweight, not heavy, not tight at all. Gets cruise control system as well. Steering is, you can adjust the steering both for each as well as rake. Yeah, nothing much has changed from before. Gets eco drive mode over here, so you press eco, changes to eco. Yeah. Okay, so when I put the gear in drive, so the gear is in drive right now. Once I put it in park, the electronic parking brake automatically engages itself. That's the same case with the Range Rover Evoque as well. Nice feature. So I put it in park and it says EPB activated right there. That's really cool. The horn is dead, completely dead. It's a lousy horn. It can be better. Even the older MGs had the same one, the regular Hector. Let's turn off the car and get outside. It's a practical family car, but yes, it's slightly pricey as well. So once I walk away from the car with the key, the mirror automatically closes on its own. So I lock the car, and once I open it, the mirrors open back, and these lights also turn on. It gets automatic headlamps as well, as I said before. So it says in the name only that the third row is additional, the MG Hector Plus. Is the 2021 MG Hector Plus, and this car comes in 12 variants and 2 engine options, the petrol and the diesel. Both are BS6 compliant engines, and it comes in 2 transmission as well, automatic and manual. So this car starts at around 16 lakh in the Indian market and goes all the way up to 25 lakh in the Indian market. I personally feel it's slightly pricey. The top end variants are slightly pricey for what you get at this price point. This car can be compared with the XUV 700 and the Tata Safari. Between these 3 cars, I personally feel the Tata Safari and the XUV 700 happen to be the better buy. This is not bad though, but those two are slightly better than this in terms of features and comfort. Thank you guys. See you guys in the next review. Bye.